Today we pause to celebrate a giant of a man in the person of James Edward Bill Mitchell Sr. He is a man of God that is a father, a provider, a counselor, a builder. To some, he's an encourager, a helper, a man that wear a coat of many colors. He is skilled, favored, and anointed. Some cats got it and some don't. He is blessed by the best, and he is taking one day at a time. James Edward Mitchell, Bill Mitchell, is 95 years young. To God be the glory. Happy 95th birthday, James Mitchell Sr.
His 95th birthday is coming up, and it's such a blessing that the Lord allowed him to just get to 95. I'm so happy about that. So I want you to describe your dad in 3 words, or 3 phrases.
He's generous, he's lovable, and very kind.
Why would you say that?
Because that's what he is to me. And people that I know, that's one of the things that they always say, how good Bill is. The older people. Uncle Bill to everybody else.
The 3 things are patient, kind, and caring.
Why would you say?
I say the reason why, especially patience, like if something, he don't move fast, he moves slow. He take his time and think it through. For his caring, there's a lot of people that count on him to do things, and he has no problem doing morning, noon, and night. I don't care if you're a stranger or somebody he been knowing for years, he still care enough to get up and do. Even at 95, he still will get up and do and take care of business.
He's quiet, meek, and a humble man.
Okay, why?
Because he don't blow up like me. I ain't that meek, I ain't that humble. I'm a child, but I ain't that meek and humble. He don't blow up like me. He don't get upset that quick. You gotta be done did a whole bunch to make him upset, mad about anything. And if you make him mad, if you go to study, he mad. Cause he can't talk when he get mad. But other than that, he's quiet, don't say nothing. It takes a lot for him to even say something. You have to ask him a question. He's listen more than he said anything, and then he'll come back with some kind of with an answer, because he's listening to you and grinning. So he know he gonna come back with something. Just wait on me. He be thinking. He ain't saying nothing. He thinking.
Wow.
A cat that's got it. That's my dad. My dad, one of them guys that a man of few words, but when he speak, it's all power. You know, he had so many phrases over the years, like use what you got. If you ain't got nothing, use that. No matter what you got, you always got God. We don't never think about it like that. We always trying to run around, I need this, I need that. Nobody add God into it, but that's one of the things that he taught.
Okay. He's funny, he's wise, and he's a hard worker. And my reason why, especially a hard worker, he always had worked ever since he was young up to probably right now. He doing something. And he always taught us how to be hard workers and independent. One story I was telling my co-worker last night, and this story was, one day me and my ex-husband, we went out there to visit him, and he had this dog. And so I was on the bike. I was riding my dad's bike, got on the bike, I'm riding, so the dog kept barking at the bike. And I was like, Daddy, call your dog. He said, did he bite you? And I said, nah, Daddy, he didn't bite me. He didn't bite me, but call the dog. He kept, the dog just kept barking at me. He said, did he bite you? I said, no, Daddy, no, he ain't bite me yet. Just call him out. He said, did he bite you? So the dog stopped. So the dog ran back to him. So I patted the bike back and said, Daddy, what is your dad's name? He said, Did he bite you? And boy, I was laughing so hard. We laughed and laughed. So that's one of the stories I can remember. And like I said, he is funny. My daddy is funny.
Okay. Can you give us a story, a fun story, a great story, or any story that you remember of your dad growing up, or even coming to the age that you is now, something that you memorial, something you like, I'm glad that's my daddy. A story that you can like, I'm glad that's my daddy.
I can think of something. Back then, it wasn't a great story, but as I look at it now, it was. I remember when I was very young, and my dad, they had a restaurant, and Regina and Greta and I was there at the restaurant, and Regina and I was under the table begging people for their bones. And we were just, that's how we was. And the one lady called my dad and said, feed these kids, because they begging for bones. And so my dad was gonna take us over to his, to another family member's house, and I didn't wanna go. And he put me in one side of the car and I jump out on the other one. He put me in that one, I jump out on the other side. So he pulled up a weed. It wasn't even a switch, like he was gonna whoop me. And I just bust out and cried, and that sticks with me today, because that was my dad, and my dad had never threatened to whoop me. And I just cried and cried. I cried myself to sleep. And I always go back to that. Being young, I was about 7, 8 years old. He should have whooped me though, but he didn't. He never whooped me.
I got a million stories about my dad. Just the other day, his truck broke down. So he called, and I come through trying to get it going. We couldn't get it going. We had to leave in West Memphis overnight. And so the next day, my sister dropped him off to sit with his truck. He ain't have no mechanic or nothing, but he just wanted to be with his truck. Cause you know, bitches always love to go. So she called, said I'm finna drop him off. I'm like, all right, I'm finna go and get all work, come on through. So I go through, try to get it going, can't get it going. So I had a tow truck to the house. He put a little money out. Nah, that's my dad. You know, I spoil him all the time. So we get it to the house. A couple days go by. He called me. I'm over my girl's house, chilling out, sitting on the couch. And I said, hello. He said, come here. Like I was in the next room, but standing next to him. My girl had jumped up off the couch. I'm like, hold on, baby. I says, I'm in the Memphis right now, what's up? He said, come here. So I said, all right, I'm on my way. But what you got going? He said, I found the key to unlock my switch. Like he ready to ride. So we get there, still couldn't get it going. A few pump or something going out in it. But like I said, I got a million story about my dad. I remember one time he got a splinter, looked like a number 2 pencil stuck down his thumb. And he just pulled it out, said, wrapped it up, kept right on working. I said, man, this dude here, that's why I call him Superman. I call him Superman so much. My older sister always say, I believe he's Superman. He is Superman. It is what it is. That's my dad. Wanted to catch this, got it. And hey, if you ain't got it, hey, it's on you.
I remember when we were little, he always played with us. We played baseball and he would play with us, and that was a fun thing, because most dads didn't play. He played with all of us because it always was a community thing. Everybody be at our house, so he would always, we have a lot of games and stuff, and he'd be out there playing baseball with us, and that's baseball.
I would say my relationship with my dad was, I felt like he believed I could when I thought I couldn't. So I guess that was having the confidence where I lacked the confidence in doing. And that was one particular time I don't know, I always worked with my dad building things. You know, it's kind of like I should have been the first boy, I guess, being that I am the oldest of my mother kids. But I was that tomboy. I loved things that my dad did in the outdoors. So I hung with him and my brother wherever they went. And it was this one particular time that we was building something, working on something, especially I think it was the screen door or something, and he held a nail and he wanted me to hammer. I'm like, you trusted me to make sure I hit the nail on the head, and he believed that I could. So that made me have confidence that I could, and I did. So for being successful in building and doing things like that with my hands, I felt like I did pretty good because he gave me the confidence that I could at least try.
Why is your dad the greatest dad to you?
My dad, to me, is the greatest dad because of his character. You know, he's laid back. He never seemed to get excited. I only seen my dad afraid once in my life. And for a man that don't care nothing about a snake, because a snake head out like they ain't even there. But a mouse, he'll run it for days. My dad to me is the best thing on the planet. You know, I always call him Superman. And because every time I think about my dad, hey, he's a Superman. Just that simple. You know, he did so much for a great education, 2 companies, raised a family, taught us all to work. We all doing pretty good, I would say.
The reason why I feel like my dad was the greatest dad because he chose my mother. He saw my mother, and the caring father that he was. She was walking on her way to work. He stopped, picked her up, and that became, if it wasn't for my dad that had met my mother on the road that particular day, there would not be an I. So because of that, that's why I feel like he's the greatest dad, because it only takes one person to come in that particular time or season to become that father of that person, and that became me. So if it wasn't for him, guess what? There wouldn't be an I.
I just, you know, to me, he's the greatest dad because he loved people. And he always been full of wisdom. He always showed love. He always taught us to show love. So that's, to me, he's the greatest dad. He's full of love. He loved people. Not just his family, but people, period. He always helping. No matter who you are, no matter what race you are, he always a helping person.
So what makes your dad a great person?
Cause he's my daddy. That's what makes him great, cause he's my daddy. I ain't seen many men like him. It's a lot of people wish that my daddy was their daddy. That's why they call him Uncle Bill, try to get up to him, toast to him, because he know he got a lot of wisdom, and because and he'll live a long time. And if they want anything, they come to Bill Mitchell's, they call him, and you can find anything. So it makes him great. And I see that he probably 5'9", 5'10", but I said that he's 7 feet tall in my book because he's my daddy. And I don't give him about. I love when people say who he is, or like to all his age, and tell folks that whoop daddy, or that's my daddy. I don't care what you say, that's my daddy. So nobody else to have my daddy but my daddy, because he's the best thing walking as a man, because he do things that the other men don't do. Like I said, a lot of young folks wish that my daddy was they. If they don't, they got a subconscious mind and wish they would. They don't see it. They probably wish it was. If I would Bill Mitchell my daddy, because he's a great man, and he's a good man, you know, a very good man. So
My dad have always been there for me. Although I wasn't raised in the house with him, but he was there. When I needed something and I let him know, he did it. He did it. And I know there's a lot of people who would say their dad is the greatest, and I'm glad of that too. But ain't nobody daddy like my daddy, James Mitchell Sr. My dad, he is the world. And he's not just to his kids, to his nephews and grandkids and all of that. And on Christmas, what's so special about it, everybody got $2, $5 Christmas present. He tried to make sure all of us got something. So that made my dad great, and a great granddaddy, and great great granddaddy.
I would like to say happy 95th birthday to my daddy. My daddy. He's 40 years, 6 months, and 8 days older than I am. I'm the one that he's my daddy child. Happy birthday, 95th birthday to my daddy. Thank you.
Daddy, I want to say happy 95th birthday, and I wish that God will bless you many, many more. I love you. I know I'm your favorite, but we know we got this bond, Daddy. We know we got this bond. But anyway, happy birthday. I love you.
Well, Dad, happy 95th birthday. I know we got 2 more years ain't counting, because you said you're going to make the 97. I believe you're going to make it. You're going to get it, son. You're going to get it. Because some cats got it, and some cats don't. And you be the one that got it.
Dad, you're my rock. You are the reason I am who I am today because of your kindness and your loving and your generous. Because you're a great dad, and out of 72 years, I would say, you have been everything that I needed to have in a father. And happy 95th birthday. And many more. We're gonna do this again at 100.
Yeah, I would just like to say to my dad, happy 95th birthday. I love you. I'll spoil you as long as you're here, as much as I possibly can. Because you've been so much to me. And to all my sisters and family and friends. You know, even when my friends call, you get up like, okay, now how you say you know me? Just because they know me, you'll get to get help for someone else. And I just want to say thank you and I love you. May you live a many, many, many more years. God bless you.